All right, today I want to do a little comparison between my Reylight Pineapple Mini and my Nextorch K40 over here. They're both little lights that you can carry on you. It's not really a hole to attach a keychain, but I'd still count this as a mini EDC, something really small that you can sort of carry along with you, even in a shirt pocket. This one even has like a little clip here on the side. So I want to go through the differences between both because as you can see, there are quite significant differences. And with your Reylight Pineapple Mini, it's more of a standalone flashlight. It's more durable. It's like a mini version of a larger flashlight, whereas your Nextorch K40 is it's a keychain flashlight, and there are differences in the construction as well. So let's have a look and see what's included. So with the Reylight Pineapple Mini, if you're thinking of getting one of the brass, copper, or titanium ones, you're looking between $40 to $60, including the battery, which is a AAA 10440 cell that allows you to get the additional brightness from the Chia 519 LED under the hood. Okay, with the Nextorch K40, it actually comes with a battery that's inbuilt there. It looks to be unreplaceable as well. The Nextorch K40 retails for $24.95, and it comes with an inbuilt battery, non-replaceable, of course, but that's pretty much it. Get a little keychain there on the side. They both come with a nice little clip here, okay, so you can sort of clip them into your pocket, okay, but the clip on the Pineapple Mini does have much more of a premium feel to it, okay, and that's expected given the price differences between both of these lights. So let's have a look at the design and the build quality. Okay, so first of all, we've got the Pineapple Mini titanium, full titanium, very, very hardy. I mean, this thing, it feels like a rock. And you've got the clip that's wedged underneath the tail cap and in between the body. Very stable. This thing is not going to go anywhere. You do find some of those friction clips that you get in other flashlights. You pull too hard, it just detaches. You're not going to have that issue there. If you look at the clip on this one, it does have a friction clip, sort of attaches to the actual plastic itself. This is made out of polycarbonate, and the head is aluminium. You've got a TIR lens underneath there as well. But if you look at this one here, it's got a glass lens, the Pineapple Mini glass lens, aluminium reflector, and the Chia 519 LED. Not sure what LED is under here, but it does produce a maximum of 700 lumens in this tiny little hose, but that's on the strobe mode only. Okay, so you can really see that the raw materials used in the construction of the Pineapple Mini are just going to be more durable than something that's polycarbonate. So in terms of disassembly, you're actually able to take off the head of the Pineapple Mini and actually get into the driver itself. You can open it up and unscrew the driver from the head. I don't recommend doing that unless you are doing that for a particular reason. You can also open up the tail cap. I changed the tail cap to one that's more recessed. I have one that sort of sticks out a bit more, and I put a little glow vial there on the end. You can also take out the battery, replace it with another one. So in terms of future use and longevity, this thing is going to last you quite a long time. You can actually use AAA cells in there as well, alkaline cells or nickel metal hydride cells with reduced brightness, but you can't do that with the Nextorch one. You have to just stick with that internal battery in there. The Nextorch K40 is a little smaller, so it's probably, nearly 2/3 the size, a little bit more than 2/3 the size. Has a bit more width on it though, but at the end of the day, both of them are pretty small. I mean, you're not going to notice either of these in your pocket, in your bag, on your keychain even. Probably this one would be better on the keychain. It's just so much lighter. That's the advantage of course, the polycarbonate construction as well. This is made of titanium, much heavier. I mean, if you compare them both side by side. I don't really know what LED is being used in the K40, but there is some type of TIR lens there. It helps to focus the LED. Okay, it produces 300 lumens on the high mode, and bezel again made of metal. So let's have a look at the UI for both of them. The flashlight comes with 4 different modes that you can select from in the UI. I've selected the mode that has moonlight, 2%, 10%, 40%, and 100%. There's other modes that have strobe and SOS. There's other modes that has a reduced output on the high setting as well. So there's a few you can choose from depending on your circumstances. I think that's really good. I'll just show you how it works. So if I turn the flashlight on, okay, you can see it just in my hand there. Press the button halfway, and that is how you switch modes. Okay, that's the highest mode, and then it just goes back to the beginning again. Now, doesn't have mode memory. Now, another thing you can do is you can toggle on and off the moonlight mode, which is the lowest mode here. And you can also toggle off the mode memory. So that's if you don't want it to essentially remember the last mode used. You want it to go straight back to the beginning. For me, that's what I've chosen, so that it goes onto moonlight mode straight away. I tend to use this light in very low light conditions. Maybe at night I just pick up this light to have a walk around and stuff like that. But I don't want it to just blast out, 500 lumens, which is its hypothetical max capacity. So with the Nextorch K40, you've got the high mode, pretty bright, I have to say. Pretty bright for a little thing. It surprised me, and I can see it on the wall next to me as well. Just click through, there's a medium and then like a low mode, and then the thing just switches off. The bottom button here, if you press it, gives you a 700 lumen strobe. Now this thing is bright as anything, and I think if you're in an emergency situation, need to track tension, maybe as a self-defense thing as well, that's a really good feature. You don't see that on pretty much any keychain flashlights. Now, a few other really cool functions in here that you're probably not aware of. If you press and hold down this bottom button, you get access to a UV light. So this is useful if you're reading documents, that kind of thing. You want to verify the authenticity. So this is the next mode. This is just the red light. So if you don't want to upset your night vision, you can use that. And then the last one is a kind of alert mode to draw attention, these flashing lights. And I tell you what, these things are bright. I can't look at them. I can't look at these things face on. And what's cool is that you can actually switch on the light at the same time, the light at the front. So it operates both, and they operate independently from each other. So I can just turn that one off, can turn that one on, or I can turn these flashy lights off and switch it to another mode. I think that's a really surprising UI for just a little keychain light like this. Usually I'm just surprised. Usually I'm just used to keychain lights having one button. You press it, turns on, turns off. That's pretty much it. So in terms of overall output, the Reylight Pineapple Mini can produce 500 lumens on the highest mode, whereas the K40 can produce 300 lumens on the highest mode. Now this was interesting because in person, I actually found the Nextorch K40 to appear brighter, at least in the center of the actual beam. The K40 actually appears a lot brighter in the hotspot than the Reylight Pineapple Mini. Even after ramping down a little bit, it can keep up with the Pineapple Mini. I can feel also the heat dissipate from the head. It's quite warm. Titanium's a bit funny. I don't think it's that good at dissipating heat, but it does take a while, and it eventually warms up and helps that LED to cool down. They both have more floody profiles, but with this TIR lens in there, I think that does help to produce a little bit more focused beam in the center. Okay, if you're using either of these flashlights consistently during the day on the lower modes, you won't have any issues getting a few days, even a week's use out of it without having to charge again. But if you're using it on the high modes, it's pretty much going to deplete fairly quickly. You might only get like an hour to 2 hours max on those particular modes, but they do ramp down, saving you a bit of battery and heat. Practicality wise, like I mentioned before, easy to put both of these in your pocket. So in terms of which one you should get, if you're looking for a dedicated keychain flashlight, it's got USB charging, it's got all these different brightness modes, auxiliary modes as well. Even if you're maybe working in a job where you might have to use a little UV light as well, you don't want to carry around something large, you can have this just in your pocket. This is a great little option, okay? But the battery is just not replaceable, so that's going to lead to issues long term as to what you're going to do if the battery starts to wear down. Whereas with the Pineapple Mini, you have a more rugged construction, seems to be more of a long-term option if you're looking for a flashlight that you can carry around with you. Also not worry if it drops, anything like that. It has less features, but it's more durable and it does the job. So yeah, you can also replace the battery with your own primaries or get yourself another 10-440 cell. So I hope this video has been helpful for you to figure out the differences between these two lights. You know, it's also a stylistic thing. Some people just don't like keychain lights. Some people prefer having a dedicated flashlight like this to stick in their pocket, but it's really up to you and your purposes, what you're using it for. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. If you like the video, found it helpful, make sure you click the like button. It helps me get my videos out to more people. And if you want to see me make more reviews, make sure you subscribe. So we're going to do the Nextorch K40 versus the Reylight Pineapple Mini, and we'll see which one gets a decent enough throw and maybe is a bit more powerful. Let's check it out. This is the Reylight Pineapple Mini. Okay, that's on the highest mode there. Okay, and it's, look, I mean, there's still a bit of light, ambient light around. It's much more apparent when I'm here. I can see it tint some of the trees at the back, but it's not so obvious. I'll turn on the Nextorch K40 now and just see how that compares. So it's definitely a lot brighter, and I did try this as well in the beginning, just comparing it with the Pineapple Mini before, even when they were both sort of fresh. And you know, the K40 is definitely a little bit brighter, but you will notice the K40 ramps down pretty quickly, and you'll get to a point where it, you know, you can noticeably see it dim noticeably, but for the most part it is significantly brighter. Okay, that's the Pineapple Mini K40. Okay, so yeah, not a huge difference, but the K40 is definitely brighter. And I would say it's hard to say which one really throws further. Yeah, it's hard to say which one throws further. I'd say probably the K40, only because it's brighter. But at the moment you can see how it's ramped down. The K40 here is on the right and the Pineapple Mini here is on the left. So they've ramped down to roughly about the same level of brightness. So, but you do get that little jump with the K40 in the beginning. Reylight Pineapple Mini on the left, and on the right I've got the Nextorch K40. So that's your Pineapple Mini, and on the right, K40. K40 starts out a lot brighter, but after time starts to dim a fair bit actually, but it does last for a little while before it starts to ramp down. The Pineapple Mini also drops a touch too. Turbo, you can see quite a difference even with the K40 being on for a while. It's still, yeah, just a little bit brighter, but now starting to really even out in terms of brightness. It does throw further than the Pineapple Mini as well. It's hard to see here in camera, but I can see it light up some of the trees in the back, just the closest one.